Let us now know about the anastomosis around the scapula. You see, this is the diagram of the posterior aspect of the right scapula. So you find anastomosis at this level, that is in the supraspinous fossa, that means here, in the infraspinous fossa, that means here, and even in the subscapular fossa, that means these dotted ones. How these anastomosis occur? This is subclavian artery. That is the first part of subclavian artery. This is cavernous anterior muscle. That means the artery behind it is the second part, and this one is the third part of the axillary artery. This is the rib. At the outer border of the first rib, it is continued as axillary artery, and there is anastomosis existing between the first part of the subclavian artery and the axillary artery, and that anastomosis occur in the supraspinous fossa, infraspinous fossa, in the subscapular fossa, and over the acromion process. And these anastomosis are: this is thyrocervical trunk. This is a thyrocervical trunk, a branch of first part of subclavian artery, giving rise to deep branch of transverse cervical artery, deep branch of transverse cervical artery. So this branches from this deep part of transverse cervical artery, anastomose with branches of suprascapular artery. So this is a thyrocervical trunk. It is giving deep branch of transverse cervical artery, and this one is suprascapular artery, which also is a branch of thyrocervical trunk. So the branches arising from these two anastomoses like this, it is anastomosing in the supraspinous fossa, in the infraspinous fossa, and even in the subscapular fossa, and they anastomose with, this is subscapular artery, that is the third part of the axillary artery, with, and this is circumflex scapular artery. So this final anastomosis is deep branch of transverse cervical artery, the branches of the suprascapular artery, anastomosis with circumflex scapular artery. These two are the branches of the subclavian artery, first part of the subclavian artery. Subscapular artery is a branch of third part of axillary artery. Hence, an anastomosis is existing between first part of subclavian artery and the axillary artery within the supraspinous fossa, infraspinous fossa, and even in the subscapular fossa in front. Another anastomosis is seen over the acromion process. Here, the acromial branch of, this is suprascapular artery, the acromial branch of suprascapular artery is anastomosing with thoracoacromial artery of axillary artery. Similarly, the acromial branch of suprascapular artery is anastomosing with posterior circumflex humeral artery, a branch of the third part of the axillary artery. So over the acromion process, you see anastomosis existing between the subclavian artery through acromial branch of suprascapular artery and axillary artery through thoracoacromial artery and posterior circumflex humeral artery. Clinical importance of this is maintains a collateral circulation. Suppose if there is any obstruction seen here, the blood cannot go directly like this. So instead the blood may pass through this anastomosis and reaches the axillary artery and maintains the collateral circulation. So this is all about the anastomosis around the scapula. Just to label it, this one is posterior circumflex humeral artery. This one is thoracoacromial artery. And this completely is the axillary artery. This axillary artery is divided into three parts. First part, second part, third part by pectoralis minor muscle. So this is all about the anastomosis around the scapula. Thank you.